Hello everybody, getting ready to do lesson 2.6 part 2 today of Algebra 1 Math. And on your classwork sheet you got 26 points. Have that out in front of you now on your phone, your iPad, your Chromebook, and 0 points for notes. So no notes today. 2.6 right ratios and proportions, and then we're going to start out with a bell work today. High-speed internet. Dan and Sydney are getting high-speed internet access at the same time. Dan's provider charges $60 for installation and $42.95 per month. Sydney's provider has free installation and charges $57.95 per month. After how many months will Dan and Sydney have paid the same amount for high-speed internet service? That's your first problem up there, students. And then down here, challenge: find the values of A for which the equation is an identity. Teachers, give your students about 5 minutes to do this. See you in 5. Okay, welcome back everybody for today's solutions for our bell work, the high-speed internet question, and then the challenge question down here. Students, up here on our high-speed internet, let's just let M equal the number of months because that's what we're after. And we have Dan and Sydney's plans on opposite sides of the equal sign here. $42.95 per month plus $60 equals $57.95 per month, and we solve for M. It's just that simple. And so what we do here is we move our $42.95 over here, and we have 15M equals 60. Solve for M, and we have 4 equals M. So after 4 months, Dan and Sydney will have paid the same amount. And then down here, find the values of A for which the equation is an identity. We have 10x minus 35 plus 3ax equals 5ax minus 7a. So what do we have to do here? We're going to group like terms, and I'm going to factor out here. So we're going to factor a 5 out of 10x and negative 35 plus 3ax equals 5ax minus 7a. And then we're going to move our 3ax over, subtract 3ax from both sides. And we have 5 times quantity, 2x minus 7 equals 2ax minus 7a. Now we're going to factor an a out over here by, again, grouping like terms. So now we have 2x minus 7, 2x minus 7. And you subtract this parentheses of this quantity from this side over here, and we end up with a equals 5, or 5 equals a, however which way you want to put it. So we have a equals 5, so that would be your solution to that equation. Let's move on into today's classwork. Setting up a proportion. There are different ways to set up a proportion. Consider the following problem. A recipe for tomato salsa calls for 30 tomatoes to make 12 pints of salsa. How many tomatoes are needed to make 4 pints of salsa? The tables below show 2 ways of arranging the information from the problem. In each table, X represents the number of tomatoes needed to make 4 pints of salsa. The proportions for the table. So to see our table here, smaller, normal, tomatoes, and then pints. So we have X tomatoes and we have 4 pints. Smaller recipe, normal is a 30 and a 12 here. So here's basically our proportion. Our proportion is X over 30. With a fraction bar there, equals 4 over 12, and then we go ahead and we solve for X. So that'd be one way to do it. Or we have tomatoes and pints now on your vertical, and then you have smaller and normal on your horizontal. So we have X over 30, not X over 30, but X and 30. This time we put this on the horizontal, and then 4 and 12 will be on our bottom here, on our bottom vertical level here, will be 4 and 12. So that would be 2 different ways. We have X over 4 equals 30 over 12. So those 2 proportions, the 12x equals 120. Yep, like they would both be equal to each other. They're equal proportions. So solve a multi-step problem. The elevator that takes passengers from the lobby of the John Hancock Center in Chicago to the observation level travels 150 feet in 5 seconds. The observation level is located on the 94th floor at 1,029 feet above the ground. Find the time it takes the elevator to travel from the lobby to the observation level. So write a proportion involving two ratios that compare the amount of time the elevator has ascended with the distance traveled. So we have 5 over 150 equals x over 1029. So this is seconds, and then this would be feet here. So we know it goes in 5 seconds, it goes 150 feet. How long does it take to get to the observation deck is what we're asking. So to do that, we need to solve the proportion. So here's our proportion. We cross multiply. So we got 1029 times 5 over 150 equals 1029 times x over 1029. We're not going to cross multiply. We're going to multiply both sides by 1029. We're going to use the inverse of a division to multiply both sides by 1029. When we do that, we end up with 5145 over 150 equals x. And then x equals 34.3 equals x. So we'll take that amount of time to get to the observation deck. So the elevator travels from the lobby to the observation level in 34.3 seconds. Check. You can use the table to check the reasonableness of your answer. Here's your time up here, then here's your distance here. So at 35 seconds, you're at 1050, so it does sound reasonable. 34.3 is slightly less than 35, so 1029 is slightly less than 1050 feet, so the solution does sound reasonable. Okay, our guided here. What if, in example 3, suppose the elevator travels 125 feet in 5 seconds. Find the time it will take for the elevator to travel from the lobby to the observation level. That's our guided up there. And then yours down here says, find the number of blue moons that are likely to occur in the next 25 years. Okay, guided. Let's go 125 feet in 5 seconds rather than 150 feet. I mean, this is what we did before. We're just going to have to plug in new values now. 125 instead of the 150. So we got 5 over 125 equals x over 1029. And then we're going to multiply through by 1029. This will go away. We'll have x equals 1029 times 5 over 125. And then we have 5145 over 125 equals x. And when we simplify that, we come up with 41.16 equals x. So it takes 41 seconds to get from the elevator, from the lobby to the observation deck. That's your lesson for today. Anime PowerPoint Math video at AOL.com for questions or course materials. Thank you very much.